Good afternoon, Superfluid One here. Just wanted to say hello. As usual, it's not the best weather where I'm at, and I have to go to... I'm riding along to go to the pharmacy in Urbandale because they don't have my medication at the Rite Aid where I'm from. I wanted to talk about jealousy, foolishness, and the minimum wage. I keep hearing a lot of people, even poor people, mad that minimum wage might be moving up because the way their pea brains look at it is that, well, if little Johnny goes up to $15 an hour and I'm only making $20 an hour, that makes them more valuable in relation to my wage. But that's not what will happen. If minimum wage moves up, it will put pressure on the wages above it. If you're mad at anybody, be mad at the executives that are paying you, the person making $20 an hour, too little, and they have for some time. Don't hate on the guy below you getting a wage that's more close to livable. And again, I'll say this for the 10,000th time. No more legislation on what wage and when wages should go up. One bill should be passed that per annum, that is every year, wages go up attached or parallel to the Consumer Price Index. Now look that up if you don't know what the CPI is / Consumer Price Index. It is about the best of a model that we have to gauge inflation annually. Now there are some commodities that grow faster and some that grow slower on a percentage basis. That means some go up in inflation, some not so much. So what we should do is forget the $15 an hour. We'll take $13 an hour, but we want it tied to the Consumer Price Index, and that being the top half of the Consumer Price Index. So you take the top best performing commodities in the the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. You divide those commodities to find an average percentage of inflation, that is growth. And then you take that average and you tie it to the minimum wage. So every year, the minimum wage just keeps going up without legislators and all the influence they have around them having any issue with it. They can't do anything about it at that point except for do away with the law. Now, I don't see what the problem is with executives. They make insane amounts of money, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times more than their base employees, while labor is working harder and longer than ever. What really bothers me is that other people in labor are actually mad about the increase because they think that they're so much better that they deserve so much more. I had a friend just like that. I won't name his name. He was making $20 an hour, and he couldn't believe a guy below him was getting $15 an hour. That's the wrong way to look at it. My friend needs to look at why he's not getting paid more. Not why is so-and-so making almost as much as he is and he's underneath him. He's not your problem. He's not your enemy, you idiot. Your enemy is the executives that have all the money. And that if their wages were cut, it would never affect their standard of living. They'd still be able to get the best food, the reproductive choices, the best medical treatment, first in line at the hospital, the nicest housing, the best schools for their children, even if the lower end of the population got a substantial wage. And when I hear people laugh at unions, well, you're not laughing anymore. That's all I got to say. It's real simple. You take the minimum wage. It doesn't even have to be $15 an hour. You pass one law one time saying, hey, we're going to take the top half of the consumer price index. We're going to average those commodities. We're going to come up with a number. Whatever that number is, 2, 3, 4%, it's going to be added to minimum wage every single year. No more legislation in every 8 years saying, well, maybe we should give them another quarter raise. Dude, if you don't want war and you want people to make a livable wage and you want people to be able to pay taxes and you don't want to pay taxes so they can have food stamp and housing credits, etc., you got to pay them enough so they can pay for those things. My God. And you know, the executive class knows that as a whole. They know that. They just don't give a shit. So, again, my formula, Jason Missoula formula, is a very good formula. Superfluid 1, out. Have a nice day.